Hey, COS 181, this is Professor Burke, and I hope you've had a good weekend. Today is Sunday, March 30th. We have an assignment due tonight, and I've noticed that there's a few of you who are getting behind in our class. So now's the time to check out the course and see if there's any assignments that you have not submitted. At some point, it's going to be too hard to make it all up, and I'm going to be recommending that students withdraw. So really try to make sure you get logged in and take a look at the course and what's due. So let's take a look at where we're at in the class. So one of the ways you could do, you could go to your grades and then look at anything that has a zero in it, and try to make up for that. Even if I put in some zeros so that you'll know what your grades are, realistically. If you have missed an assignment and there's a zero in there, you can still submit the work, but it's going to get harder and harder. So make sure that you take some time to get caught up now, because once we get back from April break, it is going to be really quick. The semester is going to end very, very quickly. So right here on our course, we have a calendar. And if you click on the calendar, it'll show you tonight is the reflection on motivation and attitude that's going to be due. And then next week, we have two things due by next Sunday. You have an anxiety and concentration discussion and an anxiety and concentration reflection to do, okay? So let's take a look at that. Some of you have talked about how anxiety and concentration, but anxiety number one, is a big issue for you. And again, you're working toward your final project in this class is taking the top 3 topics that you want to work on. And this is a big one for a lot of students, anxiety and concentration, module 7. So let's take a look at it. As always, there's an overview of what you need to do. And then here is the discussion on anxiety and concentration. I want you to be thinking about some of these questions when you talk about the discussion regarding the topic. And then there's readings on what is concentration, the impact of concentration, and strategies for concentration, and some other links here as well. And then same thing with anxiety. What is academic anxiety? What's the impact of it? What are some strategies? There's a video and a couple of other videos out here. And then you need to do a reflection. So again, both topics, anxiety and concentration. What is it? How can it be useful, or how you could use it to help you? And even anxiety can be helpful sometimes when you're a student. And then what might you do to make use of what you've learned about anxiety in the future, okay? And some of this is from the readings above, and some of it might be from research that you have to do. Same thing about concentration. So the 2 topics, you're going to be answering, what is it? How could it be helpful or useful to you? And what have you learned about that topic that you might want to use for the future, okay? And the rest of the course, as I've mentioned before, the rest of our course is open. So if you want to start working ahead, please feel free. Our April break is going to be April 13th through the 20th. Now, I try not to have too many things due around that time, but we are a time-shortened class that started late. So be mindful of that, and also try to, if you are behind, try to get caught up during the break if you can, at the very least, because like I said, after break is over, the semester is going to go by really, really quickly. So let me know if you have any questions or concerns. If you haven't handed something in, try to get it handed in, try to get caught up the best that you can, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns. So have a great week. I will hopefully see you and talk to you next week. Take care.